Ahoy there, the interwebs. What I want to do today is look at IDW's First Strike. It's a crossover event. It's IDW's crossover event for this year in the Hasbro comic book universe. Now, I think mostly crossovers are kind of seen as a bit of a joke these days. I mean, a lot of people must like the idea, but they never seem to pay off. They never seem to be have the ideas there, but the actual what happens. It's a marketing plan, isn't it? Just to sell more comics, really. That's just we're seeing it. We're very cynical about crossover events. As much as we like to say, oh, we'd like to see our heroes together doing stuff. But it's never, in the end of it, it's just always just seems to be a very cynical marketing maneuver. Now, Hasbro, the toy company, have had the different properties in the IDW universe. They've all come together, so they're in the same part of the same universe. Now, this happened in Revolution, last year's crossover event, and the Revolution was a hit and miss, inconsistent, and it was a lot of them trying to merge these continuities together with a big fucking hammer. You know, it wasn't subtle. There's nothing about that was just like, right, Transformers, G.I. Joe, easy, right, Mask, let's get them in there. Romp, sure, why not? Micronauts, yeah. Put them all in there together. And there's some plot that happened, and it was just like, yeah, all 13 and this multi-dimensional universe, we've all got to work together to stop this thing. It happened. First Strike is refreshing. I'll say that to you. Straight away, I'm going to tell you it's just an absolute joy, to be honest with you. The art is consistent. It helps having the same artist write every issue, draw every issue. The writing is consistent because they've got the same writer to do every issue. It's not someone doing a bit and someone doing a bit. Oh, this issue's got more about Transformers in it, so we'll get the Transformer writers to do this. So this one's a bit more Mask, so we'll get the Mask writers to do that bit. No, it's all the main bulk of First Strike. There is some side project stuff works, but I'm not going to get into that here because I don't really have any of them yet. But this, just as a standalone 6-issue series, it's consistent. And it's good as well. Not just consistent, it's good. I'm really enjoying the art and the writing. I'll get into this. It's the premise is that Baron Ironblood and some of the Cobra flunkies decide it's time to get some payback on the Cybertronians who are always invading Earth and always causing fucking shit up on Earth. That they're going to invade Cybertron and they're going to destroy the Transformers. They've got a plan to destroy the Transformers. And so it's about them when there's a big peace conference going on. Marissa Fairborn has been selected to be Earth's representative on the Council of Worlds that the Cybertron's setting up amongst the different Cybertronian colonies that Earth is now de facto part of, thanks to Optimus Prime annexing Earth to be part of this Council of Worlds. And so they're having Marissa Fairborn to be Earth's representative on that council. But while she's there, and there's a lot of press and there's a lot of hoopla about that, the Cobra strike and come in, send out all the ninjas, bombs everywhere, chaos ensues, the space bridge gets cut off, so they can't get back to Earth, and this is kind of, amongst all that, Meg Scott has written a very personal story that is more, it's Scarlet, G.I. Joe, versus Baron Ironblood, and the rivalry that they have, and the relationship that they have, is the crux of this. And to go, right, we're having a big Hasbro universe second crossover, and to just dilute it down, and to have the confidence to go, no, we're just going to write this very personal story. I mean, there's plenty of action. It spans from going from across Earth through onto Cybertron and under Cybertron. You know, it's a spanning action adventure. But to have the confidence to go, we're just going to zone in and really just make it about two characters that are doing, you know, the main focus on this. It's confidence. There's a confidence there, and it pays off. It really does. I think it's, you know, we could have had a lot of shit going on, like Revolutions didn't know who its main characters were. It was all over the place. This knows. It knows who it wants to focus on and how it wants to focus on it. It's just a absolutely fun. It's a fun read. I mean, you've got all these, like, you know, different characters, like Mayhem from Mask. He's like just a mouthy guy. All the other bad guys don't like, but you know, he's there out of necessity. There's this, the ROM doesn't really feature in this. The Space Knights have kind of barricaded Cybertron, so they're stopping people from getting off because they think they can detect some dire Wraith signals or something similar to dire Wraith signals, and so they're not for letting anyone leave the Cybertronian Earth space. And so that's kind of their part. The Micronauts, again, not really that much. There is this one Micronaut who's possessed the body of a Cybertronian, so it's kind of, she's just a big evil Cybertronian, really. Kind of very Ant's Agony. Let's say like that. So it's good. Another Fembot, hopefully we'll get a figure of somewhere down the line. But yeah, it's really, really have enjoyed this, and it's, yeah, very consistent, very fun, and just to have that confidence of going, we're going to make it a story about the rivalry between two characters rather than just going, oh, we're going to use a bit over here, we're going to use a bit over here, this character's going to have a big chunk of space because, you know, to sell toys. I mean, that's the thing, it's the Hasbro comic universe. There's only, like, you know, a handful of the things in this that I can actually buy toys of. So it's, I quite like that it is just for its own decadence that this exists, this universe, when, you know, there's no any current G.I. Joe toys. There's no current really any Mask toys. There's no current really, you know, Micronauts or ROM things that I'm aware of. There's Transformers, but, you know, the guys, it's mainly Optimus Prime, RC, who's in a drawn in no representation to look like any of the toys that were available for her. You know, Windblade, obviously, you know, and Victorian, you know, and Soundwave, again, he's not really looking like his Titans Return figure. So it's not really there to sell toys, it's just to sell this universe, and I think it's doing groundwork. And if they ever pull the plug on the Transformers movie and go, no, we're doing a Hasbro cinematic universe, I'm all for it, because this is, it's that joy as a child of playing with all the toys in your toy box, not just going, oh, I'm just going to get out the Transformers today to play with them. It's, you know, I'm going to have Transformers and I'm going to have Action Force and I'm going to have all this type of stuff and just play with them together, because in your kid's mind, they always lived. You didn't really care about, oh no, in the cartoons this had never happened. You didn't care about it as a kid. You were just playing with your toys, and feels like I'm playing with all the toys in my toy box. So anyway, that's it. I highly recommend it. It's fun. The art's consistent. The character story is strong. And yeah, it's worth picking up. It's a crossover that's worth picking up. Now, we'll have a little talk about spoilers. I'll put spared no expense with my spoiler warning device. Not even sure if that's in frame. We're very cheap on this YouTube channel. First Strike. So, it was revealed in the end of Revolutionaries, which came out after this started. So I kind of had to wait for that to come out before I even started reading this. That Baron Ironblood is actually Joe Colton, so he is the original G.I. Joe. And he trained Scarlet, and now he's going against everything that really he taught her, and becoming this terrorist, and leading the guys from Cobra, the guys from Mask, to do this, to genocide, to commit genocide on a race, and it's because he's figured that the ends do justify the means, or the means do justify the ends, and that he will do this atrocious act because Earth has no defence against the Cybertronians, and that when Cybertron comes to war with Earth is always going to be on the losing side, so he wants to strike first strike, and destroy them completely. And he's found a way with this talisman that they found. He thinks that with this, in taking this to the centre of Cybertron, that there's a way to destroy the Cybertronians. And so he gets these guys, these bad guys that he knows that have no qualms, and he leads them across Cybertron. But all the while, like on Earth, he's left notes for Scarlet in hidden places, because he knows that she's his protege, and he knows that she'll be coming after him. And so she's dogging his every move. She knows his every play, and it's about how he knows it's inevitable that she's going to come after him and try and stop him, but he doesn't want her to stop him, but there's nothing he can do to stop her from stopping him. It's just a matter of trying to delay things as soon as possible so he can get done what needs to be done before she turns up. It's just this weird kind of thing of this inevitability of it. And then at the end, he's still trying to convince her that what he's doing is the right thing. And for me, the killer blow is that she says, if you're so convinced it's the right thing, then why didn't you tell me from the offset? Because if it's the right thing, I would have agreed to do it with you. So it's not the right thing, is it? It's not the right thing. He can't be that convinced that it's the right thing to do if he's not gone to his own team to do it. He must know that he's been a wrong 'un. And they have a scuffle, and she tries to stop him, and he stabs her, and he's absolutely mortified that he stabbed her, but she still won't quit. And it's really kind of this moving story about that. And when you're getting all distracted by that and brought in by that, this is what I like about the Hasbro universe. We were talking about hammering in different continuities, but while this is going on between the two of them, Krieger goes up to the talisman when it's in place and says, "Whispered secrets of a shattered age, I summon you, renew this sage." We're getting visionaries, bitches! You know what I mean? That's it. It's just all this setup is to get the talisman to reawaken the Age of Magic, to bring the Age of Magic in again, to renew the ruined planet that is what's the name of the planet? Phantos or something like that. So he's draining the power of the Transformers to bring back his planet, Phantos, and reawaken the world of magic, because this Krieger character is actually Merklin. And so it's just setting up for this new... We were wondering, how the fuck are they going to do Transformers versus G.I. Joe? And First Strike is just that introduction to them. And I think that is masterfully done. It was just got me completely out of surprise that that this happened, and it hit me with a sucker punch. And then a couple of pages later, it's saying this is fucking spoilers. There's a little coda at the back, and it's talking about how when the Cybertrons are getting drained and all the Transformers are getting drained of their power to renew this age of magic, this signal goes off of Cybertron asking for death. And the signal reaches fucking Unicron. It's been hinted at. It's been years. This IDW Transformers continuity has been going for years. And thus far, they've managed to avoid Unicron. They've kind of slightly hinted that he may exist. When they first started the continuity, it was very much that he didn't exist. Well, now, they're bringing him in, which I don't know is that. I'm kind of excited in a way, but I'm also... Unicron's the Chaos Bringer. Unicron's the Death Bringer. We're going to lose many, many characters, or we better had to, because... What's the point otherwise of having, the Transformers apocalypse that is Unicron? That's the Transformers apocalypse, as in the event, the doom, not the character, because he's more of a Galacticus. But yeah, he's the end game. It's the end game really of the Transformers, and it's I've always struggled with how. So that's I'm quite excited about to see how they do it, and it's going to be a good story. But I'm always post Unicron in Transformers continuities. I'm always a bit dubious of where they go post Unicron. I've never been really a fan of, season 3 of Transformers, and even pretty much it was the end. The comics pretty much sputtered out after Unicron came in the original. See, that's not even in focus. Anyway, that has been my review of First Strike. Coming up soon, in the next couple of days, there'll be this week's Transformer of the Week. Who that will be is yet a mystery to me. Until then, be excellent to each other, party on dudes, and because you deserve it, bestow! Bestow!